What's the channel, and welcome back to another video. So I put a thing on a community little thing yesterday saying I'd do a video on the broken Fiesta, on how much it's actually cost me. It's been a journey with that car. I'm still using it now. It still runs really well. I've done 1,000 miles on it now, so it's done a fair amount of miles. Engine's all good, and everything. So yeah, I'll just write down one thing I forgot. So I sat and worked out how much I've spent on it and cried for at least 10 minutes. So let's get started straight into it. So found the car on Facebook, head gasket gone, everything like that. Paid £400 for the car. So considering, yeah, the head gasket's gone, it's 55. It's only done 81,000 miles since then. It's now clocked 82 and a half, something like that. So 400 quid I paid for the car. Obviously we took the engine out, decided whether we're going to put a new engine in it or whether we're going to repair it. But I thought, let's strip the head, let's take the head off, have a look and see if it's something that we can repair. So I decided to go with, I'm going to send the head to be tested. Had the head tested, come back all good. Had all the valves checked, had it skimmed, everything's all good. And the company that did it for me, Crane Hill Engineering, they did, so the head gaskets in, pressure tested all the valves, did a leak test, everything like that. Plus they supplied me with a head gasket set. So that was all the bolts, that was the head gasket, that was all the seals from the manifold, inlet seals, the exhaust manifold gaskets, any little gaskets and any O-rings that was needed. So that cost me 150 quid with all that. Then obviously we had to do the cam belt. So it's had a cam belt. It's had the tensioner and the belt. That was £70 for that. So that had to be done. And obviously when you're doing head gasket, you do other things as well. So we had the water pump, which cost me 20 quid. And then the thermostat, which cost me £7. So it didn't cost me a lot, that one. Obviously having the engine out, there was no way I was going to use old oil or anything, so we dropped all the old oil. All the filters have been changed, so I did basically an engine service. I did an oil filter, did all the plugs, I did the fuel filter and everything like that, and that cost me 75 quid. Now some of these I've got trade with as well, and people have got me it cheaper, so I saved a bit of money there. So we put all the engine back in, we ran it, it was all good. I'm just going to take off my list what I've spoke about. So we did all that, and then I went to go and take it up north on a run, and got to work in the morning, and it was pressurising out the cap. It was bubbling out the cap everywhere. Coolant went everywhere. I thought, oh, it's buggered. But after checking it for a while, letting it run, I checked the top hose, and it was boiling hot. Checked the bottom hose, and it was stone cold. So there must have been a problem in between there. Whether the person before put rad seal in it, so whether it was blocked completely or not, I don't know. Whether that was the cause of that, I'm not sure, but I didn't take the risk with it. So I got a new radiator, and I got a header tank cap. It's got like a little pressure valve inside. So I got the radiator and the rad cap, and all that was 70 quid. So that weren't too bad. That was from a local supplier. That was actually a DAF dealer that got me it from somewhere else for a good price. So that was that. So we did all the engine stuff, got it all running, everything was all good. Took it up north, drove it up north, sound. But obviously I had to drive it up north, and at that time it was hot. It was hot, so it was near 30 degrees. And my window regulator, as you've seen in previous videos, was broke. So originally I didn't read it properly, my own fault, read the description for a window regulator, but it was actually for a 5-door. Now obviously 3-door, the front doors are bigger, obviously a bigger window regulator, and obviously I ordered a 5-door one, which I've still got. So if anyone needs one, or you know anyone needs one, please let me know, send me a message. So I paid 45 quid for that, found out it was the wrong one. So then I was like, what am I going to do? And then I bought just the regulator, so just all the back of the regulator, no door card, just the regulator. and that was 25 quid. I got that off eBay, which solved that. So that was sorted. But then, which I haven't filmed, I got a bit of wire in it. I got caught, so I went to take the window out, shattered the window everywhere. So I was like, mate, this is just ridiculous. This car's testing my patience. So yeah, I had to drive around with like a week or so with no window, but luckily it was hot weather, it was good. No rain. I think I had a day with a little bit of rain and got caught a little bit, but it weren't that bad. But we'll go on to that story a little bit later, because that's towards later end of this car. On road test, after we fitted the engine and everything and drove it around, I found that round and roundabout it was very sketchy on the back. Like, it was very, like, you hit a bit of bump and you could feel the back end or sort of twitching and that. And then when I went over bumps, it was just like that. So I knew the shocks were knackered. I paid 70 quid for two shocks on the back. When I took them off, one of them literally, I think the rod had broke inside, and then the other one, you literally do that and it just go flat. It had nothing on it. So yeah, I was just finding more and more things with it. So the shocks cost me 70 quid for that. And then also on road test, as well as the shocks, I noticed a rumbling noise on the back. So jacked it up, span the wheel on the back, and then noticed that the wheel bearing was gone. Yeah, so that wasn't actually a bad job. That was literally wheel off, drum off, and the bearing was just like a seals unit like that. It was not a bad job to do at all, actually. That was 20 quid for the wheel bearing. I noticed that the tyres on it weren't great either, so I got 3 tyres for it. Part warns, real good tread on them, sort of 5 mil, 6 mil tread on them. I had £110 for 3 tyres. So that was that. So let's move on to what's happened in the last few weeks with it. Been driving it to work and back. It's been fine, like not a problem. So I went to the scrapyard this week, because I'm not paying like loads of money for like these bits that I needed, like the glass. I got a glass for it, window glass, so we put all that in. That's all good now. One of the hoses on top had some looked like fucking scaffold tube. It was ridiculous. Whoever made that up, like, I don't know what they were thinking. But I've got a proper hose for that. That's done. It goes from the airbox to the throttle body. So that's done. The aerial's missing, so I put an aerial on it. Just tidy it up. Repeater lens on the near side was missing, so we did that. And then driving it around, it's fine driving it. And then when you go to park, you hear, and I was like, oh, it's just joking me. So the power steering pump's gone. Apparently they're quite common on ST150s and Mark 6. They're quite a common thing to happen, which is not really that good. So I had to take it off another car while I was there. It's off a 1.4, but I cross-referenced it with Ford. They were very, very helpful, actually. That's Ford at Earthenborough. They were very helpful. They gave me the part number and said, yeah, that's exactly the same one. That'd be perfectly fine. So I got a glass, the hose from the throttle body, an aerial, a lens, and a power steering pump. I got all that for 100 quid. So it was a pain to take that pump off. It was literally a nightmare. It was a pain in the ass. So I've got to fit that this week. I'm hopefully going to do that today. I bought oil, because it's probably just normal ATF, but I wasn't going to take any risk of it. So I bought oil from Ford, and that was 30 quid. Like, that was bloody expensive from Ford. But you have to have it. So as you can tell by the list that I've had here, it's quite a list of stuff that I've had to do on that car. It's been frustrating because I was like, get it running, everything's running, then I'll get rid of it. That's the plan with it. But I've just been finding more and more stuff wrong with it, and it isn't finished yet. I've got to do the power steering pump. What else have I got to do on it? The radio doesn't work. It just doesn't work at all, which is fucking annoying when you've got to drive to work every day and listen to yourself think. So it needs a radio. The bodywork isn't great on the back. Offside rear's got like a bit where it's got like a rust patch. So whether I'm going to get that repaired or not, I don't plan on keeping it. The exhaust as well is shocking. Like, I don't know who did it all before, but they shouldn't be touching a car. It's as simple as that. It's just awful. So I'm not going to do the exhaust, probably not. I'll probably just, whoever buys it, you're going to have to do something with the exhaust. Probably put a stand on it, whether put your own one on, that's up to you. If I find one for a good price, yeah, maybe I'll put one on, but I'm not. There's only so far I'm going to go with this car before I'm like, yeah, this is just ridiculous. Like, but I've been driving it every day. It had, before I bought it, it had a new clutch in it, like two months ago. Before that, I have checked the clutch, and the clutch looks new. So, in total, I'm estimating roughly, this is give or take a few pounds here, down everywhere. That car owes me £1,190. So yeah, it owes me a bit of money. What's it worth? It's worth what everyone wants to pay for it, really. For me, it's got MOT till March next year. It's had fresh engine. It's had all the head gasket done. It's got a fairly new clutch in it. Well, pretty much a brand new clutch. All cam belts done. It's had a service, water pump, everything like that. There's nothing to worry about. New rad on it. Wheel bearing done. Shocks, everything's all done. The only thing I'm actually going to have to put on it, I think, is front disc, because the disc is absolutely knackered on the front, so I'm going to have to do that as well. But I'm not keeping it. It's not for me. I bought it as a project to make some contact for yourselves and for me to hopefully make some money out of it, which I'm hoping I'm still going to be able to do. I'm going to be very strict on selling when I sell the car. Like, I haven't got to sell it. I can still use it every day. Let me know in the comments what you think it's probably worth. It's 5506, 2006. 82,000 miles currently gone at MOT to next year, and it's had all this work done. It's had a lot of work done to it. It's a good car. It generally drives really well, and it ain't that bad on fuel. I literally went up north and back, and I used half a tank. So 3 hours worth of driving. I can't think of the top how many miles it is, about 180 miles each way, something like that. So yeah, it ain't bad on fuel. Tax is about 20 quid. No, it's not actually. It's cheaper than that. I think it's like 200 quid a year for tax. Yeah, it's a good little car. Like, it's got full leather and everything in it as well. So if you think you might be interested, give me a DM and let me know. If you know anyone might be interested, let me know. I'm going to be looking. I'm not taking, I don't think, any less. Drop down comments if you let me know if you think I'm asking too much. I'm not going to be taking any less than 1,500-1,600 for it. No chance. I'd rather just keep it for now until I get the right money for it. You know, a lot of time and effort's gone into it. I know my labour doesn't pay for anything, but it's still a lot. It owes me a lot of money. It owes me enough money. So we'll see what happens with that. But let me know what you think. Do you think I made a mistake with buying it? Do you think, the way I see it was, I bought it because I like my Fords and everything like that. So for me, it was going to go scrapyard, and for me, I've saved it from going scrapyard, and it'd be a good car for a young lad. That's a good little car for a young lad. If I wanted one of them when I was younger, or when they first come out. It's a good little car. So let me know. Just let me know what you think. If you know anyone might be interested, DM me on Instagram at FreightLaneTV, and we'll have a chat. But I think I'll be fair in saying no less than 1,500 quid for it. I think so. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Sorry it's been a while. I've been so busy with stuff. There's a lot of things going on at the minute. I'll do that in another video. If you haven't already, you can think about subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to go through some more HTV content today and get some of that out for you this week and build a load up. So yeah, I hope you're keeping well. If you could like, comment on this video, I'd appreciate it. And I hope I can catch you all in the next video.